Welcome back, everybody. It's Dr. Craig Malkin. I'm a clinical psychologist and lecturer for Harvard Medical School. I'm also the author of Rethinking Narcissism, which, as you know, is devoted to helping you cope with narcissism in all its forms and all your relationships. I want to talk today about narcissism and impulsivity. Is it true that narcissists are more impulsive? And if so, what is it that drives that? If you like my videos, please remember to subscribe by turning the notification bell on, and please like and comment so I can generate videos like this. The answer to the question whether or not narcissists are more impulsive is, not surprisingly, yes. The more narcissistic someone is, they tend to go up on a factor of narcissism, which you've heard me talk about before, which is called exploitation and entitlement. It is correlated with all kinds of difficult or aggressive indicators, in particular aggressive behaviors, reactivity. And so for that reason, the more narcissistic somebody is, the more impulsive they tend to be. But there's another really fascinating reason, and it helps us understand how impulsivity happens in general, what it is that causes it in the first place. One of the reasons that somebody who is extremely narcissistic might tend to act on impulse, thoughtlessly, reflexively, is because inside they feel very uncomfortable with any kind of vulnerability, and nothing makes us more vulnerable than not being sure what to do, what course to take, what action to take. And there's this phenomenon in character pathology and disorders of personality where the more somebody feels that kind of anxiety, that kind of conflict, they often tend to use a defense called turning passive to active. That is, it's rather more beneficial to me, if I'm using this defense of turning passive to active, if I go into action. It feels better than sitting on my hands, twiddling my thumbs or wringing my hands, not being sure what to do. And somebody who's extremely narcissistic, often in their background, they haven't been helped through moments like that. There's no relational template for turning to somebody with that struggle of, I'm not sure what to do, I'm really feeling kind of anxious, I'm not sure what's the right path here. So turning from passive to active is a way of jumping out of that conflict altogether. In the past, it was often called acting out. And the simplest way to think about it is, if it's a choice between action and inaction, somebody who's relying on this defense to jump out of that vulnerable state of not being sure which path to take, will choose action every time. And the more narcissistic somebody is, the more they tend to be prone in that direction, again, as a way of bypassing that very vulnerable state that they don't really trust that people can help with, or that they might be shamed for sharing in the first place. This leads to all kinds of problems. Should I take this drug? Should I not take this drug? Well, take it, go into action. Should I cheat? Should I not cheat? Cheat. It's better than sitting on my hands and doing nothing. Should I have an affair or not have an affair? Go into action. These are ways of jumping out of that state altogether. So if this is something that you struggle with, that's a pattern that you're recognizing that I'm describing, there is hope in this message, as always, as you've probably learned when you listen to my videos. And that is, the more comfortable you get with the feeling of vulnerability, the clearer you are that there's anxiety in those moments, so that you can directly manage that anxiety, or even better yet, turn to somebody for help with the struggle. Think it through, talk it out. I'm not sure what to do. I'm really going back and forth here. The more you can do that, the less likely you're going to react on impulse. And the more tools that you have to manage the anxiety that's generated about it. Again, even better if you can turn to somebody with this, because as you know, one of the ways to reduce narcissism is by learning to relate in a genuine, securely attached manner. If you're a partner or a friend and you know somebody and you can see this happening with them, you can check in with them. If you feel comfortable, if you're not in an abusive relationship with this person who shows these signs of narcissism, you can check in with them and ask them if they're struggling in some way. It's a nice way to go directly into that vulnerability And with any luck, they can respond to it and they can share what's going on. So if you like my video, again, please remember to subscribe, hit like, comment, and I'll be back with more. Thanks.